Oh, hey, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by to see what I'm up to. This paint looks kind of interesting, right? It's definitely opaque. Could you guess what this is? No, it's not opaque because it's lavender. It's actually gouache. And so I'm going to actually do a painting for you today in gouache. It is an opaque medium. It's water-based, but we're going to learn so much more about it. I'm using this flat brush, or maybe you might even know that it's a bright brush. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, too. What you can expect to learn today is some dappled lighting, and I'm super excited to paint just this wonderful painting about dappled lighting. You can also get super encouraged today because we're gonna go on a train ride. That's right, I said a train ride. Uh, what's pretty cool is my studio is over in Balboa Park, right? And so I get to experience all kinds of cool things. But I bet you're wanting to know, how did I even start this, right? All right, we got a loose drawing here of this wonderful area over by the train. And we've got some gouache, some lamp black, some titanium white, cobalt blue, a lavender, buff titanium, Hansa yellow light, spring green, and lastly, cascade green. These are the colors I'll be using for this painting. Pretty sweet. I have a smooth surface, and I don't like smooth, so I put some DANEIL SMITH watercolor ground on there. This is Arches Illustrated Board. Now let me show you the area in which I'm going to be painting. Right there. Oh, here I am, waiting for my turn. Hop on that train. Come get your train tickets. Should be coming around that corner any moment. Alright, I know you want to know how to paint and with some gouache. We'll go back to the train ride a little later, I promise. So, this topic today on painted dappled lighting is one of my favorites. But before we get there, we've actually got to put down the rest of the painting. And we're going to start that by putting in a nice little background. A little bit about the composition of this piece, just real quick. We have just a little sliver of a background in a big, nice, wonderful area of a middle ground and foreground. Why is that? Well, one way we can emphasize a painting is by zooming in or zooming out, or emphasize a certain area of the painting. In this case, the subject being dappled lighting, our foreground needs to be a big part of the painting. So for instance, if this painting was about the sky, there'd be very little of the ground in your painting. Or if this painting was about boats and water, there'd be very little sky. One thing I enjoy different about gouache compared to watercolor is layers. Just like building a really nice bean dip, you've got your beans, you've got your salsa, your cheese, your olives, then probably some more cheese and olives. So you get what I'm coming, right? We have so many cool layers that are going to be built in this painting. All right, point number next is what is really cool here is with gouache, you're going to actually have layers, right? We're talking about layers, but we're working from dark to light. So we're actually putting down something that looks like dirt and grass, and then we're going to bring in that light, all right? We're going to start bringing in some values. So right now we got kind of like a foundation that's working. We see this little row with a track. There's a grass area. There's a area that's all like wood chips and whatnot, right? We've got trees that are going to start coming in just here shortly. Trunks of trees. But there was a sky first. We got that sky. So that sky, beautiful sky, can come through these wonderful trees. So you're going to hear a lot about layers. We're also building a foundation. We just got done having those wonderful tree trunks, right? So I had my ground, I had a sky, now I have these tree trunks. Now I've got one shadow here in the distance. This is a pretty good dark shadow that's got to be laid down so things can push and pull and come forward, all right? So these tree trunks are further, they're actually shaded underneath these wonderful trees in which I'm going to start paint. So we've got some really nice dark areas. Now that we got a good little foundation, we've got also another little tree trunk that's back even further. Let's go ahead and mix up some greens for our trees. So notice how I'm painting with the side of my tree. This is an Escoda travel brush. I believe it's a number 10 Perla. So this paint likes to hold lots of paint. It has a really nice point, but I'm using the actual side of the brush. When painting trees, I like to change up the greens. We'll have a nice little light green, and then let's mix in some nice cool green that's on the shade side of the tree. My light is coming from the right side, right? So right now we've got some nice shade under these trees. Now there's a little lion right there. No, I'm not going to make a perfect lion, but I'm going to put something there because it's going to help this train track that's coming towards us. That's right, we're going to get back on the train here shortly. But before we do, let's go ahead and lay down some track pieces. These are helping us create the push and pull of our foreground, leading our eyes back to the background. A really great painting will lead your eyes back and forth. So we're having horizontals, some verticals, and some diagonals, and even maybe some ellipses that are laid down horizontally. As we're working our way to the foreground, I'm going to go to the middle ground first. So we've got this wonderful tree here. It's got a little bit of light on the side, and then we've got some of our shadows that are starting to come in, but this is not the highlight. Now, here we go with some wonderful dappled lighting. But this is the dark part, and that's what's cool about gouache, is gouache is such an opaque medium that we work from our darks to our lights. Quite different than watercolor. With watercolor, we work from light to dark. This being an opaque medium, we're going to work from our darks to our lights. Here we go, right into the very meat. You know, right when you bite into that hamburger or even that wonderful, what is that thing called? Oh, yeah, dessert. And you taste the really yummy part in the center. That's what we're getting to right now. We're getting to the star of the show, the real blockbuster of the painting. And here's one thing you've got to know. This painting is not done yet. This painting is in actually an area of the painting that gets a little shaky. And you've got to just keep working. Now watch this magic happen. Now, of course, I don't mean magic like hocus pocus, like I'm putting on a big show for you, but the magic of not giving up. And the wonderful thing about painting is, as you are an amazing creative individual, there is a moment of how can I keep going? How can I keep developing this piece? And it's a good time to just also stop and take breaks, to step away from a painting, and to keep looking back and forth to your reference photos. I like working from photo references, and I like painting plein air. Painting plein air, I definitely take a step back. I definitely look around, maybe bring my lunch with me. With gouache painting, what's really cool is the medium actually sets up fairly quick. There are times that I'm using a little bit of water with this gouache, and there are times that I'm just using really a lot of thick, juicy paint. Did I not mention this? This is DANEIL SMITH Gouache. I did mention the colors, but I did not mention that this is DANEIL SMITH Extra Fine Gouache. The difference in this gouache from some other brands is that it's silky. Super silky smooth. I just need to emphasize, taking breaks are a good thing. So let's go take a train ride. No, break time's not over. Let's finish the train ride. Wow. Before we get going on this foreground, we've got to work on the middle ground. We got some more trees that are over here. And we've got some nice little angled areas of light. Let's make sure things connect in your painting. We like to have things that touch and move along each painting. A good thing to have is those tree trunks. One tree is leaning one way, one tree is leaning another way. Same thing with these shadows. They vary in size. We have some other little things in the background. Just, you don't have to describe them, just easily state them. Let's go ahead and work a little bit more on this track. I hope you enjoy the wonderful sounds of the train. I sure am. It helps me actually do this painting to actually talk to the people about the train, to ride the train, to smell the smell of the train, and all these wonderful things is all in this painting. The wonderful sounds and smells of the train going by. And I may even just go ahead and put this train in, just a little glimpse of it maybe. Who knows? We'll see what happens. If you found this content so helpful and encouraging, go ahead and smash that like button and that subscribe button. And instead of hearing me talk just a little bit longer, here's some tunes. So enjoy these other bits and pieces of me painting with some music. Let's freshen up the titanium white gouache, make some highlights, and finish up this foreground. I hope you enjoyed watching me paint dappled lighting with gouache. Alright, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Punch the like. Leave a nice comment. Links in the description. Keep painting. So there you have it. Dappled lighting. Come get your train on here at Balboa Park. And while you're here, come on over and check out Spanish Village. All the art studios. Take care. See you.